When you have the perfect camera, other people's advice for what you should buy next is irrelevant. It bounces off you like fleas trying to get through your shirt holes. No thank you, mosquito freaks. Here's 3 cameras that are so often suggested to me that I would never buy.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
Okay, a little experiment here. I wanted to see how bad could this possibly look. We're on the Canon R5 II with the 24mm 1.4 in the lowest possible quality HD, 35 megabits per second, 8-bit, standard profile, auto exposing, which I already see the waves happening. That's going to be a nightmare, but you could not get worse than this. But, good enough for YouTube? And then we'll switch to 8K RAW. I brought that light into your heart. So first camera that I get suggested so often, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are people telling me about this camera? The Nikon Z8. A fantastic camera, of course it is, but you're speaking to someone who had a Z6 III, which is better in every way I need it to be. Your camera, for some reason, can do 8K 60 RAW, but HD 120 only. You don't even have the Z6 III 240p, but for the minorest amounts of potentially better features from the Z8 to the Z6 III, I've heard slightly better IBIS, I've heard worse as well. I've heard better autofocus. Custom banks might have been nice, but to lose what I have already in the 240p, that's stupid. To not have a flippy screen, all of a sudden I can't do anything but wildlife. That's what I love about a camera that can do everything. You gotta have a flippy screen for the YouTube stuff. The Z8 is heavy, expensive, worse than everything I have already in a much better Canon body. So it's like, I don't get the suggestions. Why are people even looking at that camera for me? Do you even know me? Where's the flippy screen on that thing? I'm sure the 8K 60 would be plenty fantastic. I could probably edit the files. I'd be like, wow, Nikon Red LUTs, oh my God, this is great for that one thing. But I like doing other things. I can't vlog with it. It's too heavy and the stab's not good enough. I can't do in here because I can't see myself. What could I do? Only wildlife? The next camera I get suggested so often, which is weird because I've already reviewed it and it's worse than everything I have, basically. I swear to, you don't swear to my God. Just get the R5C and your life will be complete. In what way would it be? It would be worse in almost every way I can think of right now. The only advantage you might have is that I could do 6K RAW, whereas this 8K RAW will be very hard to edit. I think I could edit that. But like, you switched into some weird ass cinema menu and lost all your fun features. Spending that much and you lose animal eye detect? What are we even doing? I think it has no IBIS. Are you quoting me on that right now? I think it has no IBIS. They removed the IBIS. And then that battery life was shit, at least on launch. Like so many, I think I just made a video about this. I don't know why I'm repeating it. But like R5C compared to this, are you dumb? You don't have C-Log 2? I have it. I have 240p, do you? No. What do you have that this doesn't? This is a cinema cam. This basically replaces my C70. Of course it also replaces you, because you're worse than the C70. You're an R5C, R5C. The lower I am in the frame, the brighter it is. That's weird. I don't like that. In my experience, it wasn't until the R5 II did Canon finally become actually usable in the autofocus even. So like all prior Canon cameras lose your ass at some point. They're not reliable. It's not dual pixel autofocus. This finally nailed it. And now Canon's picking up steam. I'm afraid to even see. It took them about 5 years to match Sony, and now goodbye Sony. Nothing you can do, although they're about to leapfrog us. They probably already have. But imagine having a Sony A1 II instead of a R5 Mark II. Just how stupid would you have to be? Worse color signs. 8K 30, not even RAW, as we're about to switch to. So I'm sure the R5C has some redeeming qualities, but the cinema menus for Canon, no thank you. No custom modes in video, no IBIS, worse autofocus. less frame rates. Everything is worse about it. Bigger, heavier. All right, the last camera that gets recommended to me, I think just because it's new, people have recency bias, but they're lost and confused. We're not switching to 8K yet. This has to be a last minute type of thing. It's gonna be 40, 100 terabytes. Why didn't you just get a S1R2 instead of the R5 II, he meant. All your complaints gone, except for one thing that's rolling around YouTube. I see what you did there. It wasn't funny, it wasn't good. In what world would that camera be on my radar instead of this one? Just, you know what I do here. Talking head bullshit, shilling videos, bringing you products from China. I also walk to the store spending my affiliate money sometimes. I do wildlife. I do slow motion street videography. I do one other thing that I can't remember. I talk in nature sometimes, picking beautiful scenery. So what does Panasonic do better in all those areas than the R5 II? Wildlife? No 240p. That sucks. Can't even watch a penguin being born slowly. That would suck not having that. And I have animal eye detect in it. HD 240 with the best autofocus you ever could imagine. Whereas you do 4K 120, but HD 120 as well. What the hell is that? Your camera's clearly capable of doing more. Why isn't it in there? Makes no sense. The 600mm Tony 11 Prime that's on its way to my house today, that might even show up while I'm recording this video, weighs lighter than anything Micro Four Thirds has, prime-wise. What would I use for you? A Sigma lens? Are you joking? A 500, not even 600mm? 5.6, that could be nice, but it's heavy. No animal eye detect, no slow-mo. Good stabe. Would it be though? Syncing with Sigma? Doubtful. What do you do that? Canon color science, beautiful. Panasonic, potentially, but not definitely. If you know what you're doing, you can tweak some stuff. If you're Cam Mackey up in this bitch, you know, like, oh, reds, bring those down, up the greens. This is what happens to my face when I do things. I do bad things to my own self. It's a self-harm lifestyle that I live. But like, come on now. You want a date? Stop wasting time. This 8K RAW, oh goy. 1300 megabits is raw light, at least. Come on now. C-Log 2 now. Do you even see a difference? Other than the crazy exposure swings and who knows what happened. 8K RAW. Let's see if it overheats. Not one warning yet. So like this S1R2, fantastic camera, but why would it trigger my radar? I love doing slow motion street videography. Panasonic not only doesn't have the frame rates, they couldn't autofocus in them even if they added them in a firmware. They make you pay for firmwares, by the way. Only company to do that. Don't quote me on that. I could adapt EF lenses, but like there's nothing in L mount that screams, I must have that. Like, do you know the radars that I'm looking for here? Trying to like replace my ZVE1. Even this couldn't do that. It's not on my radar. Would it be fun to try it? Sure. But like buying into L mount for this? What do you mean? We're waiting for the cinema one. Will that even get us to switch? Doubtful. The Camera R5 Mark II is the perfect camera now. In fact, it is the Sony a7S III. The only things I wanted better in that camera were better stabe and better colors, and now this is that. Unfortunately, that was a 2020 camera and we had to wait 5 years to get it, but we're here now, and let's just bask in the glory. And now it's like, yep, come up. You know my thoughts? I've listed my Sony ZVE1 for sale. I want to sell it. The only reason I'm thinking of keeping it is because companies like Viltrox send me lenses sometime, and that could make me money. That's the only reason I would keep it. This has replaced the Sony now. But like if I sell it for a one-time fee, I now lose years of lenses, testing out, but like that's a dumb reason to keep a camera. That's the dumbest reason. What's at the front door? I got my Canon lens. I'll unbox it later. So no, your cameras aren't good. You're not a Canon color science camera. Canon is my future. I need nothing else. This is my only love now. You have done everything I could ever want you to do and more. You surprise me each day. I wake up and I want to cuddle you. I don't even deserve your love. I know that. I have to bring you things first, little gifts. Here's a package, so take the package. It's good, so I need nothing else. And all these little suggestions, you're gonna miss the Nikon. What do you do for me that I'm not already doing? I do everything better than you. You're such a loser if you're not in Canon. We don't have Tamron lenses. That's a strength. It's a strength. We don't allow flatness here. You wait. You wait. So, no. Thank you for watching. Was 8K RAW good? Not even close to overheating. This is totally sustainable. You thumbing up the video and donating Bitcoin? You're not. So the Carver man, I was saying.